You know, that moment, it's one of the first most powerful moments, really. You offer your finger, and without even thinking, this tiny, perfect hand just closes around it. And the strength is just impossible, right? It's this immediate, unspoken connection, a silent promise.
And when you feel that firm, determined little grip, it's like the whole world just melts away. In that one, simple, totally involuntary action, there's this profound sense that you've been chosen, that you're everything to them. It really does feel like the start of a lifelong conversation.
But what if I told you that this adorable, reflexive clench isn't random at all? What if it's a window into our own evolutionary past? A trigger for a biochemical symphony in your own brain? And maybe, most surprisingly, a hidden blueprint for your child's ability to speak. Let's unravel this incredible story, and we're going to start way, way back in our deepest evolutionary history.
To really understand that grasp, we have to go back in time. I mean, way back, long before we were walking upright. Because this powerful reflex, it's an echo, it's a ghost from our very deep ancestral past.
See, this isn't just some cute baby thing. It's a relic of our evolution. For the babies of our primate ancestors, this reflex wasn't just a nice to have. It was literally life or death. Being able to cling, and I mean really cling, to a mother's fur while she was moving through the trees, well, that was the only thing stopping that infant from a fatal fall. And what's just fascinating here is the sheer difference in endurance. A macaque monkey infant can hang on for over 30 minutes. 30 minutes! A human baby? We're talking barely 10 seconds. This shows you exactly how the reflex's job has shifted over time. For us humans, that immediate survival need is gone. But the neurological wiring is still there. It's just been repurposed for a new, but still crucial, role.
And here's a really critical piece of that ancient survival kit. The brain is wired with a kind of hierarchy. There's this thing called the moro, or startle reflex, that causes a baby to fling their arms out when they're surprised. But, and this is the amazing part, if that baby is already grasping something, the palmar reflex actually overrides the startle reflex. In other words, the need to hold on was so important it could cancel out the instinct to be startled. This is what kept a primate baby from letting go and falling, even if a loud noise totally surprised them. It's a brilliant built-in safety feature.
Okay, so that's the baby's ancient reflex. But how does it affect your modern brain? Because when that tiny hand grabs your finger, it's not just a physical event. Oh no, it is a biochemical trigger that starts a full-on cascade in your own body.
That simple skin-to-skin contact is a catalyst. It flips a series of switches in your brain, releasing hormones that are specifically designed to make you connect, care, and protect. It's basically nature's biological hack to make sure you are completely and utterly captivated. And this isn't just some feel-good idea, we can actually measure it. Take a look at this data for new fathers. When holding his newborn, a dad's brain gets this huge surge of oxytocin, the bonding hormone. At the very same time, his testosterone often drops, which is a change that actually predicts he'll be more involved in caregiving later on. And to top it all off, cortisol, the stress hormone, tends to go down. His body is biologically preparing him to be a nurturing, less stressed parent. It's incredible.
Now, this whole biochemical process is the physical bedrock for one of the most important ideas in all of psychology, attachment theory. John Bowlby, who pioneered this, argued that we are basically hardwired to form these intense bonds. It's not just about food and shelter. It's a primal drive for safety and emotional security that ends up shaping our entire lives.
And the quality of that bond? It has lifelong consequences. When a child forms what we call a secure attachment, they see their caregiver as a secure base. This is what gives them the confidence to go out and explore, to learn, and to grow, because they know they have a safe harbor to come back to. On the other hand, an insecure attachment can lead to anxiety, a reluctance to engage with the world, and it can really shape their relationships and sense of self for years and years to come. Okay, so we've covered evolution and bonding. Pretty amazing stuff. But the story does not end there. That same little hand clench has a secret, direct line to one of the most complex things we ever learned to do: talking. This secret connection is called the Babkin reflex. It's just an incredible piece of neural wiring. So if you apply a little pressure to a baby's palms, they will reflexively open their mouth and often tuck their head forward. It's a direct, built-in link between their hands and the muscles of their mouth and face. Have you ever noticed a baby kind of kneading their fists while they feed? That is not a random movement. That's the Babkin reflex in action. Every single time they clench their little fists, they are giving their jaw their tongue, and their larynx muscles a tiny workout. This whole process is laying the groundwork for everything from chewing solid food to the unbelievably complex, coordinated movements that we need for clear speech.
All right, so as important as this reflex is, it's not supposed to stick around forever. In fact, its disappearance is just as critical as its presence in the first place. So, what happens when this ancient wiring doesn't get switched off on schedule? So here's the normal journey of this reflex. It actually appears well before birth, and it's really strong in a newborn. But it's not meant to last. Right around 3 to 6 months, as the baby's brain develops, this reflex should fade away, making room for purposeful, voluntary grabbing and exploring.
Now, if the reflex hangs on past that 6-month mark, clinicians call it retained, and it can actually be a red flag for some underlying neurological issues. On a practical, day-to-day level, it can interfere with developing fine motor skills. We're talking poor, messy handwriting. And because of that hand-mouth connection, you might see a child whose mouth moves or their tongue sticks out when they're trying to write or cut with scissors. That's what we call an overflow movement. It's a clear sign that this primitive reflex is still active when it shouldn't be.
So we've traveled from ancient primates all the way to modern neuroscience, and it all comes back to this one simple action. That tiny, reflexive grip is a whisper from our evolutionary past. It's a trigger for the chemistry of love. It's a workout for future speech. And it's even a critical diagnostic tool.
It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? What other simple, everyday actions hold such profound complexity? That first grasp, it's not just a reflex. It's the very first chapter in the incredible story of who we are and who we are becoming.